The 1990s saw America's federal budget go from a $290 billion deficit to a $236 billion surplus, probably the most dramatic fiscal turnaround in U.S. history. Daniel, it all happened under a president who played saxophone on late night TV.
That really captures the essence of the Clinton years, Pappy. This mix of serious policy achievements and pop culture moments made him such a unique figure in American politics.
You know what's fascinating about Clinton's presidency? He completely rewrote the economic playbook. 22 million new jobs created. That's like adding the entire population of Florida to the workforce. And he did it while turning those massive deficits into surpluses.
The economic numbers from that era seem almost unbelievable now, though some of his most significant moves, like NAFTA, were pretty controversial at the time.
That's exactly right. NAFTA really showed his third way approach in action. Here was a Democratic president pushing a free trade agreement that labor unions hated while working with Republicans who traditionally supported free trade but didn't want to give him a win.
Speaking of working across the aisle, what do you make of how he handled the Republican takeover of Congress in '94? That could have destroyed his presidency.
Well, that's where Clinton earned his nickname, the comeback kid. Instead of getting steamrolled, he managed to work with Republicans on welfare reform while still protecting and expanding programs like the Children's Health Insurance Program. He had this remarkable ability to find middle ground without completely abandoning democratic principles.
The healthcare reform attempt with Hillary was fascinating too. First time a first lady had taken such a prominent policy role.
That whole healthcare battle really showed both Clinton's ambition and his limitations. The comprehensive reform failed spectacularly, but they pivoted to more minor victories like CHIP, which helped millions of kids get coverage. It's a perfect example of how Clinton would often shift from significant sweeping changes to more targeted reforms that could actually pass.
His foreign policy had that same mix of idealism and pragmatism. The image of Rabin and Arafat shaking hands on the White House lawn was incredible.
The foreign policy achievements were significant, especially in the Balkans, where NATO interventions probably prevented widespread ethnic cleansing. Though Somalia was a disaster, and his China policy, believing that economic engagement would lead to democratic reforms, is still debated today.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Lewinsky scandal and impeachment. How did he manage to survive that politically?
You know what's remarkable about that whole saga? Even as he fought for his political survival, Clinton kept governing. He was negotiating budgets with the same Republicans who were trying to remove him from office. His approval ratings actually went up during the impeachment. People seemed to separate his personal conduct from his job performance.
That ability to compartmentalize was pretty extraordinary, though it looks different through today's lens.
And that's what makes Clinton such a fascinating figure, these contradictions. He was this brilliant, charismatic leader who connected deeply with people, but also had significant personal flaws. He modernized the Democratic Party and achieved remarkable economic success, but some of his policies on crime and welfare have been heavily criticized in retrospect.
His post presidency has been pretty remarkable too. The Clinton Foundation has become a global force on issues like HIV, AIDS treatment, and climate change.
Looking at his legacy, what really stands out is how many of the challenges Clinton faced persist today. Healthcare reform, economic inequality, partisan division, America's role in the world, these are all issues we're still grappling with. His presidency marked this transition from the Cold War era to our current political landscape.
That's so true about the continuing relevance of these issues. And when you look at how he handled them, building coalitions, finding compromise, maintaining optimism, there might be lessons for our current political leaders.
You know what's interesting? Clinton's famous quote, "There is nothing wrong with America that cannot be cured by what is right with America," really captures both his optimism and his pragmatism. Despite all the political battles and personal scandals, there was this sense during his presidency that America was moving in the right direction. The economy was booming, technology was creating new possibilities, and it felt like we were entering a new era of prosperity and innovation.
The contrast with today's political climate is pretty striking, Piapi. His ability to work across the aisle, even with people who were trying to impeach him, seems almost impossible to imagine now.
And that might be Clinton's most important legacy, Daniel, showing that it's possible to achieve significant progress through compromise and cooperation, even in the face of intense political opposition. Whether you admire him or not, you can't deny that he fundamentally changed how we think about politics and leadership in America.